hope you all are having a fantastic day. Welcome to the AllBrands show. My name is Kalli, and I'll be hosting the show today. And we've got Barbara over there in the back who's going to be driving things today. So thank you all again for tuning in, no matter where you're watching, when you're watching, morning, afternoon, night, whatever. Thank you. If you haven't yet, please go ahead and like this page on Facebook. Leave us a comment on this video, and go ahead and share this video and subscribe to our channel if you're watching this on YouTube. All of those things will get you entered in to win a $100 AllBrands gift card at the very end of this show. So you don't want to miss out on that. So let's go ahead and say hello to some folks that have commented. So let's see who we've got. We've got Diana from Oklahoma. What's up, Diana? Thank you for tuning in today. Karen from Michigan. Hi, Karen. Thank you for tuning in. Babette from Abita Springs. Oh, we're not too far from you. Welcome to the show. Steve says, hey. Hi, Steve. Kathy from North Carolina. Hi, Kathy. And we got Carolyn. Always good to see you, Carolyn. And let's see, we got Joe. Hi, Joe. Good to see you again, too. Paula from sunny Florida. Oh, I'm jealous. It's raining over here. Judy from Iowa. Hi, Judy. Steve from San Marcos, California. Awesome. Gwen from Platinville. Oh my gosh. Thank you for watching. Linda from British Columbia, Canada. Thank you for watching. Rebecca from Spring, Texas. Barbara Jones from Houston. Always glad to see you, Barbara. Bev from Southern California. And let's see who else we got. Veronica from Alabama. Thank you for watching, Veronica. Yolanda from Frisco, Texas. Oh my gosh. Well, it's so good to see you guys. Thank you all again so very much for tuning in today. We have a really awesome show for you today. Today we have Joe and Keith over at Reliable, and we're going to be talking about irons and sewing machines, lights, you name it. We are going to be talking about it. Reliable does a lot of stuff, and they make some really fantastic products. So I cannot wait for you to see what they've got. So without further ado, let's go ahead and bring Joe and Keith on. Hey, guys.
Hey, Kalli, how you doing?
Good. How are y'all doing today?
We're doing fantastic. Looking forward to the show.
So it's really good to see y'all. I will just let you hop straight in and get started. And if y'all have any questions for Joe and Keith throughout the show, go ahead and drop them in the chat, and we will try and answer those questions live. So take it away, guys.
Okay, thank you very much, Kalli, and thank you everybody for joining us. Glad to have you here with us. And like Kalli said, if you have any questions, just pop them in, and we'll try to answer them as we go. And if we miss you, don't worry. We'll come back at the end and we'll answer anything that we missed. So my name is Joe. And this is my colleague, Keith. Hello. And we're here to tell you about what we got going on here at Reliable. So before we dive into the products, for those of you who haven't heard of us here at Reliable before, we are a Canadian company. We're out of Toronto, and we've been in business since 1955. So we're a second generation family-owned company. Robert, who's the current owner, is the son of Milton, who started the company in 1955. And we started off doing industrial sewing machines, used sewing machines. And back in that time, this was one of the main hubs for the apparel industry in North America. But then as things kind of changed over and shipped overseas for all the manufacturing, we branched out into different products and have now got into steam a lot. Thank you, Liz Wilson. Appreciate that. The irons are pretty fantastic, as you'll see in a few minutes. So we branched off into steam. So we do everything from ironing to ironing boards, on the professional and the domestic side, cloth cutters. We still do industrial sewing machines, and all sorts of things like that. So after that brief introduction, we'll get into the products a little bit more. So Keith, why don't you tell us about one of our portable sewing machines?
Sure. Okay. I didn't realize I'm starting, but I'm starting. All right, so hopefully everybody can see this right here. I'm going to lift it up to show you that this is a portable. I'm holding it with one hand, but it's pretty heavy. It's not as heavy as a full industrial sewing machine, but we've had great success with this portable walking foot and zigzag machine. Primarily, the types of customers that we've sold this machine to have been hobbyists, people making canvas bags, leather products, and a lot of boat owners, actually. This has a couple of very cool accessories. One is an oversized hand wheel that you can operate it without any power. And also to slow the machine down and to get through tougher materials, that's the purpose of that. There are other options like a soft leather foot if you're working with leather products and you're worried about marking up the fabric. So there are a number of very nice accessories for this machine. The benefit of it really is its power and portability, and we come in at an attractive price. We've sold hundreds, if not thousands, of these machines, and we have a lot of very happy customers using it. You can go from straight to zigzag. It has a memory feature, and there's a stitch dial right on the front. Pretty straightforward. One thing I have to mention about the Barracuda machine, it does not do well on light fabrics. This is a machine for medium to heavyweight fabric. It excels on canvas, synthetics, leather, and you can get 8 layers of Zundl, which is the common boat canvas sail material. And that's quite a feat for such a small machine. There are a number of other options with the Barracuda. It can come with a hard, heavy case. We don't have them in stock, but they're coming in very soon. And there's another option with a full industrial table. And that's the Barracuda. Yes?
So we have a question from someone. Someone was wondering what exactly a walking foot is. So can you explain that a little bit for us?
Yes, absolutely. So a walking foot machine is very different than a single needle machine. The most common sewing machine in the world is a single needle lock stitch machine. The needle penetrates the fabric, forms a loop. A walking foot machine is quite different. The feet walk with the fabric and pulls it along. That's the reason it doesn't excel on lighter fabrics, because it's just going to pull the material and chew it all up. I hope that answers the question.
We have another question from Mary over on Facebook. Mary's wondering if this is an industrial machine.
So that's a tricky question because it's as powerful as an industrial machine. The difference is it has a small work area. The throat on this machine is not a full-sized industrial machine.
Yeah, it's a semi-industrial machine.
Yeah.
Right, definitely heavy duty, which I think is really
heavy duty. It's got a very strong built-in motor, and it can get through tough fabrics.
But like Keith said, if you're going to be making masks or something in a light fabric, it's not what you want. It's for heavy jobs.
Yeah, at the height of the pandemic, we had customers buying this machine thinking they could sew masks and hospital gowns. You cannot. Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Definitely for heavier materials, for sure, for sure.
Absolutely. Okay. Again, if you have any more questions about the Barracuda and you didn't get them in now, no problem at all. We can come back to them at the end. So next, I'm going to talk to you about another one of our products that does pretty well with.
Oh, Joe, before we do that,
yeah.
So I wanted to just show everyone the Barracuda in a little bit more detail. I think we have a picture. Let's bring that up. So this, in case you couldn't see it quite well, I could see it fine, but in case you wanted a little bit better image of it, this is the Barracuda. It's a really, really fantastic machine that can sew through some really thick fabrics. It's really incredible. And I also wanted to point out to everyone that the Barracuda right now, we are going to be running a little special today. So we are going to be using code RELIABLE50, and you can get $50 off of your purchase. So it'll be $499.99 plus free shipping. So yeah, go ahead and take a look at that on our website. You can shop the category page right below this video, and any other products that Joe and Keith are going to mention very soon.
Yeah, sure. One other thing with the Barracuda is it also comes in the Craftsman kit. So you can also get heavy duty case. It comes with the light as well and all the other accessories that the Barracuda.
Yeah, let's see that Craftsman kit, Barbara. So this is the Craftsman kit in, it's a little bit in just a larger image. It comes with the case, needles, extra bobbins, all that good stuff. It also comes with a task light, which I think is incredibly useful. And again, with the Craftsman kit, you can use code RELIABLE50 on our website for $50 off your purchase. And that expires 2 weeks from this show, so June 3rd, if you're watching this live. And that is it. I think it's an incredible deal. It's $699.99 for all of that plus the machine. So really, really incredible price. Absolutely fantastic machine if you're looking for something to work with heavier fabrics.
For sure. And then the Craftsman kit just makes it nice and handy. It puts it all in a nice case that you can carry around, keep it from getting wet or anything like that. You're all good to go. The only other accessory which Keith did mention on the Barracuda is if you are looking for that really extra torque, or you want the option to be able to use it and you don't have access to power. So if you're out on your sailboat or something like that and you don't have access to an outlet, you can put on what our accessory called the CUDA crank, and it gives you that extra torque and allows you to hand crank it as well. So that's the Barracuda in a nutshell. Great little machine. One of the topics we'll talk about next is some of our cloth cutting machines. So these can be used, they're very versatile, can be used for all sorts of different materials and fabrics, up to 1 inch in thickness. So this is our 1500 FR that we've had for a number of years. Fantastic machine, goes through about just about anything, and it's an electric cord, 120 volt. It's got a lot of safety features, so you don't have to worry about cutting yourself. So you've got your guard in the front here, the guard in the back. Even if you're getting in close to the side, close to the side there, you're not gonna have to worry about cutting yourself. It's got a built-in sharpener as well, so while the machine is running, you just push on the spring here, and you can actually keep that blade nice and sharp, so it keeps cutting through everything. Pretty self-explanatory. I mean, it's a knife. It cuts through, leathers or canvas or any type of material you might be sewing or using to quilt. It's got a super thin base plate as well, which makes it really easy to slide along whatever tabletop you're using to cut on. And it's really easy with your wrist to simply turn and cut curves and different shapes like that as well. So this machine has been doing really well. It's really it's a workhorse for sure, and we've had it for a number of years, and it's awesome. But what's really exciting about in the cloth cutting category as well is this actually isn't out yet. So you are very lucky and are some of the first people to see this. But we are going to be launching in the next few weeks.
I don't think anyone's seen that.
I don't think anyone's seen this yet. So this is going to be our 2000 FR. This is a battery-operated cloth cutter, or fabric cutter, I should say. So I can actually demonstrate it for you. So it's just got a power switch under the handle here. Still does up to 1 inch of fabric or material, and you can lift up the guard there, as you can see, for whatever thickness you're cutting. And then once you have the trigger on, there's a little button on top. And it's actually got, I believe, 5, I don't know if you can see, 5 variable speeds. So if I press the button, it starts off a little slow. And then, I don't know if you can hear that, but it is getting a little bit higher in pitch, and then back down low. And just to demonstrate it, I actually have some hard tooling leather here. So this is something you'd use, it's like tooling leather. So you can use it for all sorts of things where you're doing maybe a belt or some kind of holder. But you can see that this knife just cuts through it like butter. Like no effort at all.
Wow.
It's a very impressive machine, and we're very excited to have it because the one we have is great, and we'll cut through that as well. But of course, you've got the cord to worry about. So now that problem solved with this one.
Oh, wow. That is fantastic. So we do have some questions from some folks on Facebook about the cutting machines. Carolyn Weiner wants to know, does it cut acrylic?
Does it cut acrylic? Have you had experience with cutting acrylic?
We have a lot of customers that cut synthetics. Acrylic specifically, I'm not sure. We can get back to your customer and let them know. I'm confident it will, actually. Depends on the thickness. As long as it's not over 1 inch, should be okay. Yeah. It has an octagonal blade, which prevents the fabric from jamming up. So that's another nice feature.
Yeah, it's got a spring-loaded base, the octagonal blade, and to keep and it cuts on a downward motion, obviously, so you don't have to worry about jamming.
Okay,
and then we will look into that and get back to you, Carolyn.
Okay, perfect. And then over on Facebook again, Miss Linda wants to know, how heavy is the cutting machine? I'm not quite sure which one she's referring to, but I have they're both fairly similar in weight, right?
So the battery operated one is actually quite a bit lighter. I don't have a weight on this one yet. If I had a scale, I'd go ahead and weigh it for you right now. But it's so new that I don't even have the spec sheet on that yet. The other one, the 1500 FR that we have available right now, and I actually came prepared with my spec sheets this time because the last time I did an event, I thought it was going to be all application questions. They were all the spec questions, so I came prepared this time. It was 6.1 pounds.
Perfect.
That's a 1500 FR.
Yeah. Just one thing, I've been asked this question also before on the weight, and it was from a woman who was using a rotary, cutter that was getting wrist strain, and certainly that is a consideration. So my answer was, lifting the cloth cutter onto your cutting table or wherever you're cutting, that would be the major, weight to it. But once you're on the table, the base plate actually, it just glides. So it should actually help if somebody's having wrist strain from using manual rotary cutters.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah. So
And then Sharon over on Facebook is wondering, do you use this on a regular cutting mat?
Sure, yes, or not. Yeah, I mean, we have folks that try the machine here and we just have it out on the counter.
Awesome. Well, it's really up to you. Yeah, I like that. I really like that freedom. And then Joe is also wondering, do you make a small cutter for home use?
We do have a smaller cutter available. Yes, that's our 1000 FR.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then let's see. So Paula over on Facebook too is wondering, so it's like a power rotary cutter, essentially.
Exactly. It's exactly what it is. Yeah.
Yeah, perfect. So I think those are all the questions we've got right now, but if y'all have any more questions about any of this, go ahead and drop them in the chat. Let me go ahead and I'll let you guys continue.
Okay, sounds good. So next we're gonna get into the ironing side of things. But obviously before you can iron, you need something to iron on. So Keith's gonna talk to us about our 320 LB ironing board.
Yes, absolutely. This is a very unique product that we have right out in front of us. It's unique in the sense that it's the only ironing board that is designed for quilters and home sewers. It comes with two covers. Maybe Joe can show the standard cover that it comes with. So It has the regular ironing board shape that comes to a tapered end. So the board actually has two covers. You can't see it right now, but it has a extension, a sleeve that just slides on. And when you slide it on, it has two covers. So this big cover comes to 55 inches across. And our ironing boards are actually a little bit wider than the standard ironing boards that you see. Other things to note about this board is it's super stable. And the reason for that is it's got a double wishbone design here, tubular design, very, very strong and stable. It has a laundry rack. It has a tray on the side that's riveted to the underside of the board, and you can see it's holding a pretty heavy iron station on it right now, no problem. We improved the cover on this board. We had some customers that found that it wasn't as, wrinkle-free as they would like, and we redesigned this cover into a material that we call Verafoam. It's like a memory foam, and it just keeps the surface much more flat. And it has this additional very cool feature called a Connex heat zone. This is the fabric that is used by firefighters, actually. So it's safe to keep your iron flat on this. Oh, wow, this iron's on. I can feel it.
Yes, it is.
You can keep an iron flat down here on this zone as long as you want. And there's a lot of benefit to that. Our philosophy is you should always have the iron down, never like this. And in fact, if you see on the commercial irons, you actually can't stand them up, because there's the cord is at the back. The reason for that is when you're doing this and this all day, you're gonna get wrist strain, guaranteed. So our philosophy is you should always have the iron flat down.
Yeah, for sure. So like Keith said, it's got the two different color covers, and the way it works, so you start off with your frame like this, where it looks more traditional on the 320. So you've got again, it's folded up, but you've got your tapered end there. And then to transform it, you want to hold that for a second, Keith? Yeah. To transform it into a longboard, it's got a separate extension. So this is a completely separate piece, and then that just slides on. It works better when you actually have the board sitting on the floor, like it's supposed to. Exactly. But it fits on like that. And so you've got your two Verafoam covers that come with it, one for the tapered end, and then one for the longboard. And like he said, that gives you 55 inches. Yeah.
Now we do get questions from people. Why does this board cost so much? And compared to other ironing boards on the market, yes, it's true. It's a lot. It does a lot more money. This is galvanized steel, and this is hand formed. This is actually made by Italian craftsmen, handmade in Italy. It comes with a 10-year warranty. That's the best in the business. Galvanized means this is never going to rust. And this as well. This is powder coated, lead free. There's a lot of really nice features in this. This is made to last. I mean, it's probably the last ironing board that you'll ever have to buy.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. And then, of course, even when we came up with our new Verafoam, we wanted to make it have that sort of, like Keith said, it's kind of like memory foam, but we wanted to make it still very light and breathable. So because you've got the mesh here on the board, when you have your steam iron and you're applying steam to your garments as you're ironing them, it still allows all that moisture to come right through, and you don't have to worry about your fabric getting wet at all.
These are so awesome. I love this board so much. I really do.
You're not alone, Kalli. It's pretty fantastic.
It's really great. And I think we do have an overlay for this. So if y'all want to see it in a little bit, rather than up close and personal, if you want to just see the whole thing, let's go ahead and pull up that overlay. So this is the 320 LB. Y'all, this board is really incredible. The fact that it comes with the tray for the iron station or your iron, I think that's really fantastic. And that Verafoam is really, really awesome. And we have this on our site right now for $2.99. That is so fantastic. Y'all hop on this. Please go ahead and go to our website and take a look at this if you're really curious. This is such an incredible board. Like, I cannot speak highly enough about it. I think it's great.
We agree with you. The only other thing that we couldn't really see on the one that was set up there, because we've got the industrial boiler on it, but you've got your iron rest here. You can actually bend these in so that it fits perfectly ergonomically however you want your iron to sit. Yeah.
Yes. Oh, it's so perfect.
Yeah.
Carolyn loves the way that it slips on the end, that little, like that straighter piece. And I love that too. I think that's really fantastic. Let's see, I don't think we have any other questions. Ms. Wilson, we answered that question. It's $2.99 on our website at the moment. And Barbara Jones, the most important tool in her sewing room is her ironing board. And yeah, it should be. And this is a quality board. So if you don't have one yet, hop in there because it's really fantastic. And I mean, everyone's commenting on how amazing the size is. The size is really incredible. I think it's perfect. And let's see. Yes, I love that you can leave your iron down too. I love that too. I think that's so awesome. But yeah, I'll let you guys continue on. I don't think we have any other questions or anything about the board right now. And if we do, we'll save them for the end.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, we can always come back to questions. That's no problem at all. So now that we talked about the board, we can talk about the irons that you would use on the board. So the first one I'm going to show you is our Velocity 230 IR, which is right here. And this is what we call our compact vapor generator. So I'll talk a little bit about that and how it differs from a traditional iron. But the first thing I want to call out, and what a lot of users of our Velocity irons think is their favorite feature of the Velocity irons, is that I just picked this iron up. It's been sitting here the entire time that Keith and I have been talking to you. And as soon as I touch the handle, steam starts coming out. Now, I don't know if you can see it on the camera. I'm trying to hold it up in front of my blue shirt. But with very dry steam, it's also very hard to see. But yes, there is definitely steam coming out of this iron as soon as I touch the handle, so you don't have to worry about pulling a trigger or anything like that. But I'm going to talk about some basics first. So how do Reliable's irons differ from traditional irons? And the answer is because we have a compact vapor generator. So the way a traditional iron works is the sole plate, which you all know is the base of the iron, gets really, really hot. And then when you pull your trigger, it sprays water on the sole plate, and the sole plate has to be hot enough to turn that water into steam. Now, that works fine until you start spraying too much, because every time you spray, it's going to lower the temperature of the sole plate. So if you're spraying constantly, what's going to eventually happen, the sole plate's going to cool down, and you're going to get leaking. And we all know leaking is the enemy. No one wants that. So the way the Velocity irons work, and just for you guys, I decided to cut one in half so you can see what it looks like from the inside. So this red area that we've colored for you is the compact vapor generator. So instead of the sole plate getting really hot and us just spraying cold water on it, this actually acts like a mini boiler. So the water goes in here first without you having to do anything. As soon as you put water in the iron and plug it in, water goes into the compact vapor generator, and it turns it into steam in here. So then, if you were using our 160 IR Velocity, which does have a trigger, when you pull the trigger, instead of water spraying, you just get steam, straight steam pushing right out the bottom. And then again, with our 230 that I was showing you, and our 260, as soon as you touch the handle, steam just comes pouring out as long as your hand's on the handle. Now, of course, the steam is toggleable, so if you do want to use it as a dry iron, that's no problem at all. You just hit the steam button and it turns off. But this allows us to do a number of things. So the first thing it allows us to do is to have a much lower sole plate temperature. And the beauty of that is it's safe. So for example, on the 230 here, if you have it on its auto mode, which is the low temperature, it's safe for all fabrics. So you never have to worry about burning or causing shine or anything like that. But at the same time, it's not heat that removes wrinkles, if that's what you're trying to get rid of. It's steam that removes wrinkles. So you still get the steam's still just as hot as ever, but because the sole plate doesn't have to get hot, or it's still hot, you don't want to touch it with your hands, but it allows you to be safe for all those fabrics. The other thing is, and then of course the 238, it does have a turbo mode for you to kick it into high gear if you're doing things like linens, and you want that extra heat, that extra blast of steam, just to really, press out your material. So the 230 has 2 settings. Again, the steam is toggleable. I talked about the auto shut-off feature. So that is a safety feature that has to be there. Of course, you do want your iron to turn off. If you have it plugged in, you have it on, and then you leave the house. But for you quilters out there and sewists, if you're doing a lot of other tasks and you come to your iron, you do a little bit of ironing, and then you leave again, then to do something else, you come back. You don't want to wait for that iron to have to start up from scratch again. So with the auto shut-off, like I said, this iron's been sitting here this whole time. As soon as I grab it, I touch that sensor handle, steam just comes pouring right out all over again. Now, if you don't have this lovely 320 LB ironing board or 220 ironing board, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, Kalli, but I believe we're doing a giveaway of the velocity rest with every 230 iron. Is that correct?
Yes. Yes, we will be throwing in a velocity iron rest. Sorry, can't make words today. With a 230 IR.
Yeah, okay, fantastic. So if you don't have the Connex Safe Zone that we showed you on the 320 LB, you get this nice iron rest that you can have instead, and that again prevents you from doing the wrist action and if you're doing a lot of ironing, making your wrist get sore and tight. So that, again, you don't need to lift the iron up like this. You can just be doing your ironing here, and then just set it on the pad, and you cannot burn through that silicone pad. You can be there for a week. So
great.
Fun, absolutely. Another cool thing about our velocity irons, and is that, I guess I should have brought another one that wasn't hot in here.
The sole plate.
Yes.
Anodized aluminum.
Anodized aluminum. So I'm stuck by a cord here, so hopefully you can see. But anyway, I've got a penny in my hand here. Hopefully you can see that. I can scratch this iron all day, every day, with a screwdriver, with a penny. You can probably hear the screeches I'm making by trying this. But there is no scratches whatsoever.
So yeah, that's a great benefit. You can go over a button or a zipper when you're ironing accidentally, and no problem. It's not going to hurt it.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, exactly. So it's really nice and durable. Did I miss anything on the velocities? Oh, the main difference between, if you're wondering, unfortunately, I'd be showing you the 260. Unfortunately, we're out of stock right now for those of you who are familiar with that iron. But if we're wanting a 260 and we don't have it available now, the only difference between the 230 that I've got right here and the 260 is that the 260 has 8 different settings, and the 230 has 2 different settings. I think that's everything with the velocities.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we do have a little overlay of the 230 IR, I believe. Let's go ahead and pull that up. So this is the 230 IR iron, and as y'all saw, this is a really, really incredible iron. I think it has great features, and I really, really do love the way that the steam works and everything. I think it just gives you such a fantastic crisp finish every time you're ironing whatever it is. You could be ironing fabric, clothes, you could be ironing out some seams or pressing some seams open. Really, really fantastic stuff. And we have this on our website right now for $149, which is a fantastic deal because we're throwing in free shipping too. Not only are we throwing in free shipping, we're throwing in that free velocity iron rest as well. So if you are curious and you want to learn a little bit more about, or want to see some more about all the specials that we've got for this show, please go ahead and check out the category page that we have set up. It should be in the description of this video below. Go ahead and check that out because we do have some really awesome stuff, and we're going to be doing a little bit more later as well.
Okay, sounds good. All right, moving right along. So our velocities are fantastic irons for, if you're doing something here and there, you really like that auto shutoff feature. We also have our whole line of industrial grade professional irons. So this obviously is a much bigger system. You've got a separate boiler here. This one's 2.5 liter capacity, and it gets up to 50 PSI of pressure. So if you thought that was a lot of steam out of again, I don't know how much you can see on the screen, but it's quite a thing that comes out of the velocity, but it's nothing compared to what comes out. Sorry if I can hear.
Hey, Joe, we have a question from Karen over on YouTube talking about the velocity iron. Karen is wondering, what if you have well water? Can you use that in an iron, or do you recommend spring or distilled water for your irons?
You can use whatever water you want in your iron, but it's going to affect how long it lasts. Okay, right. So if you have well water is notorious for being very hard. Your lifetime on your iron is probably not going to be very long if you use it. So we recommend distilled water is the best. If you can ever use distilled water, use it. Your iron's going to last way, way longer with distilled water. But aside from that, the more filtered the water can be, the better it's going to be for your iron.
Perfect.
Do not use well water.
Yeah,
I will just say it's the worst in the scale. Well water is the worst. And after that, it would be tap water, then spring water, then distilled. Distill's the best.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. The mix, if you don't have hard water where you are, you could use a mix of tap water and distill 50-50. That will prolong the life as well.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
And then we have another question from Larry about the ironing station. Wondering what the power consumption is on that.
About the one I'm just about to show, I imagine talking about?
Yeah.
Like in terms of watts, probably it's 1,800 watts.
It's 1,800. The iron is 800 watts and the boiler is 1,000. It just runs on a standard circuit though. Plugs into the normal wall outlet in North America, Canada, USA, and it runs on a normal 15 amp circuit. We have bigger boilers that require a 20 amp one, but not the small boiler.
Yeah.
Okay. And then pivoting back to the iron real quick, Anne Philbeck is wondering, can you use the iron dry for fusible, like fusible interfacing? I'm assuming you mean, Anne.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. Go for it. Okay. Yeah. No more interruptions. I will let y'all get right back into it.
Yeah, no, that's okay. Like I said, the steam is toggleable on the velocity, and then it's fully controllable. It's actually, I was just about to get to this, but on the iron, on the professional iron, again, I can't bring it too much closer, but there is a blue micro switch here, and that is what you hit to engage the steam. So if you don't hit the switch, you're not going to get steam. And you can also just turn on the boiler here. Again, I apologize, I'm kind of far away, but the boiler button on the top, that's your power for the boiler, so that's what's going to heat up your water on the inside. But there's also a separate steam switch. So the steam switch I have on right now, but I can turn that off, and then no steam can come through the iron itself. You can also adjust the amount of steam you're going to get. There is a little valve, and again, this is hot, so I'm not going to move it around, but there is a valve on the top of the solenoid here where the water connects into the iron that can adjust your flow. It is very seldom that you need that all the way open. So usually if you fully close that, you just open it at 2 turns at the most, you can still get all the iron, all the pressure you need. It's 50 PSI of pressure out through the iron when you hit that micro switch. The iron itself has a thermostat built right into it. So I've got it on max heat right now, which is probably not necessary, but it's got a dial on top that you can turn for whatever fabrics you're doing. What else am I missing on this guy? It's got a pressure safety cap. So again, this is a boiler. It is under pressure. So if it does run out, you will have to refill it, but you have to wait for it to cool before you refill it. And it does have a cool little safety feature. It's got an automatic reset. So with some of these boilers, if you allow them to run fully dry, the element will keep heating and it'll burn itself out, and then you need to get a new element, which is expensive. The nice thing about our boilers is they have the safety reset switch. So if it detects that it's gone dry, it'll automatically shut off, and you don't have to worry about having to get a new boiler after that. That being said, that is a safety feature, not a feature that you want to be using with the iron all the time. So we do recommend that you don't let it do that more than it needs to, but still, it's there in case you do forget. It comes with everything you see here too. And again, I apologize, it's probably hard to see, but it does come with the iron cord holder. So if I'm back here ironing away, I can reach all the way over there, and it's going to keep my cord up and away from any of the work I'm doing. It's got all of our boilers also have a quick connect. So this I can just pull down. It's hot right now, so I'm not going to do it. You can just pull down, take it out, and you can also disconnect this. So if your iron does go, you don't need to replace this whole thing. You can just replace the iron, snap a new one, no problem. We also have additional accessories for this as well. So maybe if you're in any other kind of industry, perhaps you clean jewelry or into some other hobby like that, we do have jewelry cleaning steam guns as well that you can connect right into this, get the same pressure, and you can clean everything like that.
Awesome. So we have some questions about the boiler from some folks watching. Sharon on Facebook wants to know, does it have a long cord to plug in the wall for the iron?
So the boiler itself has to be plugged in. I'm not sure. Do we have the length of this cord on here?
Maybe. I mean, we can see how long.
Yeah, if you want to maybe.
It's about, I'd say it's about 7 feet long, the electrical cord, but I'm not sure if you're asking about the hose for the iron. This is 7 feet. So the hose on the iron to the boiler, that's 7 feet long.
We also do have an option if you are doing drapery or something like that. We do have an 11.5 foot.
Yes. Yes. So if you want something a little bit longer, then that's perfect. Miss Wilson was wondering, would that iron be an upgrade for the 120 IS?
Yes, so it is definitely an upgrade from the 120 IS. The 120 IS doesn't have a boiler system like that. It's a pump system for your steam. And again, it's a little bit more portable. Yeah, the amount of steam you're getting out of this is definitely a big improvement over the 120 IS. The 120 IS is a great domestic machine. But then this is when you're ready to kick it up a notch and you're doing like 4 hours of ironing a day.
And then someone watching on YouTube was wondering, is there a water level gauge on the boiler?
There is not, unfortunately, but we do know, just because it's the way it's sealed, you do have a pressure gauge. When you fill it up, it does come with a tube, like an indicator to show how much water you've got in it, so you can fill it to the right amount. And then from there, it's just knowing kind of how long you've been using it. So we say this boiler is good for up to about 4 hours a day. If you realize that it does burn out over the course of work for a day, what we recommend is that at lunchtime you turn it off and then you refill it while you're away for lunch. And then you should be good for the rest of the day.
Yeah, and I think that answers Carolyn Weinert's question as well. So Carolyn, I hope that helps. Babette is wondering, how much water does the boiler hold?
So it's a 2.5 liter capacity on this boiler.
Perfect.
Yeah.
And I think that answers everyone's questions so far. If you are curious, we do have this on our site right now for, I believe, $6.99. This is on our site. So, and it's in our category page for this event as well. So shop our show specials and take a look at it.
Fantastic. And then I will say, this is just one example of our professional boilers. We have
so many
line of different sizes. So like I said, this is 4 hours a day. We have our 6,000, which is good for 6 hours a day, our 7,000, which is 8 hours a day.
Yeah. Sorry, just one note on, maybe we should just mention this because we've had questions on the domestic, the 120 IS and the velocity irons and this professional one. There's a difference between pressurized steam and non-pressurized. This is a pressurized boiler. So when Joe showed you the steam, you turn the steam off. See, so you can use it as a dry iron. I mean, this steam is coming all the way out here. Yeah, you can actually see it a little bit now because of my shirt. But yeah, pressurized steam gets the job done faster. That's the difference. You'll get your work done. That's what professionals use because pressurized steam gets rid of wrinkles in no time. Dry steam, this also produces dry steam, but it's not pressurized. Right. So the difference between the Maven 120 IS and this, it's a couple things. Pressurized steam, you can use this for more hours. It's actually 4 hours of continuous steam, hand on the trigger. For most quilters and home sewers, that would probably last all day if you fill it up with water, because it holds 2.5 liters.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyways, hope that helps.
Yeah, I do hope that helps everyone. And I thought I had something to say, but I lost my train of thought. So absolutely keep going for it.
When you think of it, just ask us.
Yeah, perfect.
Actually, Kalli, I will ask you, we're going to jump into the Verve now, our steam press. So before Keith jumps into that, do you want to show the video?
Yes, let's go ahead and show that video for the Verve.
Okay.
So that is the Verve. Oh my gosh. We've got folks in the comments just being like, wow. Yeah. It's really, really awesome.
Okay, go ahead, Keith. Yeah, so this is the Verve. I'm sorry, it's a little bit far back. Maybe I should just talk about why and what is this big machinery. In Europe, this was known as the mangle. So this goes back centuries, probably. And Europeans love to iron everything. And I think that's why they came out with this rotary press. It's great for doing linens, tablecloths, and garments. I mean, personally, myself, I like to iron. It's a preference, but this works very well for all types of garments as well as linens. It has some advantages, I should mention, over alternatives. So there are other brands that make a similar type of unit, but to get steam on the other brands, you have to go to a 220 volt model, whereas ours has steam on the standard 120, just plug it into the wall. So that's a nice benefit. It's also open on both sides. If you can notice, you can feed fabric in, whereas the alternative brands have a console blocking one side. So that's a nice feature. Now I should mention, you don't get steam on the lowest temperature settings. So for nylon and silk, you don't get steam because it doesn't get hot enough. But it does on the 3 other settings. And you can adjust how much steam you want to come through as it presses. Very simple operation, foot pedal. This will drop and it pulls the fabric through and it actually automatically folds it on the back. If you watched the video, you saw that it's very easy to fill with water, and there's an anti-scale cartridge if you're using tap water.
Yeah, and it also folds up nice and easy for storage. It actually cuts down the width of it by, I think it's over a foot. So
yeah, it takes up almost no room. It doesn't really have a big footprint in the first place. As you can see, I'm standing right next to it. So yeah, it's a compact unit, but the benefit is that you can feed in very large linens, tablecloths, and it does a perfect job pressing them and folding them as well.
Yeah. If you've ever wanted to iron your bed sheets, then this is the fastest way to do it for sure.
For sure. We've sold this to bed and breakfast hotels, nursing homes. It's not a commercial press, so it's not designed to be used for 8 hours a day, but for light duty use, household use. It's made in Czech Republic, so it's got very, very good machining, made in Europe. Great product. We've had really good success, a lot of happy customers.
Yeah, for sure.
So Diana over on Facebook is wondering how wide of fabric does that feed?
This is 47, how many inches across? Sorry,
33 inches.
30, okay, so this is 33 inches across.
5.
Perfect. Yeah, I think Carolyn Weinert up in the comments a little bit earlier said it's perfect for ironing or just pressing out fabrics that you've pre-washed. And I think that's a great idea. That is really, really useful.
Yeah, yeah.
And Sharon saying it'd be great for quilts. Exactly. So thanks for giving us tips in the comments. I love this.
Fantastic.
So we do have an overlay for this one. So let's take a look at the Verve. Can we pull that up real quick? So we have the Verve. This one, we have another coupon code for you. Use the coupon code RELIABLE100 at checkout. You will get $100 off of your purchase. So with that coupon, it'll be $24.99 plus free shipping. And y'all saw how incredible this thing is, how amazing it is, and just how well it works. So I think it is worth every penny, for real. It totally is. It definitely is.
Okay, awesome. Any other questions on the Verve before I move on?
Let's see. I don't think we do. I think we were able to answer all of them. Yeah, Miss Wilson says fold 60-inch fabric in half. Yeah, that's perfect. That is the perfect way to use it. I don't think we have any other questions or anything like that. So go ahead and keep on tracking.
Okay, sounds good. So we got one more set of products that we're going to talk about, and that is in our new Uber lights. So again, before I get into those, Kalli, if you wouldn't mind showing the video. We had a lot of fun making this one.
Hey, Dad.
Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba.
Dad, what?
Step back. That's better. I'm setting up my new Uber-like flex. Look what it can do. Any shape you can imagine.
That's awesome.
It has USB connectivity.
That's awesome.
It has 9 different light settings.
Great. I forgot why I came in here.
Whatever the question is, the answer is no.
Dad, you were right about this lamp.
What else about going into my office?
Dad!
You can sew in the dark.
No. Dad!
Honey, dinner's ready.
Better.
Step back.
I got you something. May I?
Thought you said the answer would be no.
I can never really say no to you. Now give me back my Uber light.
Dad, wait!
Okay, hopefully you all enjoyed that video as much as we had making it. Yeah, this is our new Uber Light Flex. So we've actually been making sewing lights for a number of years, and it's always been called the Uber Light. But it was kind of more of an industrial look, more for the industrial sewing world. So this is still very much a sewing light. You can absolutely use it for sewing, but it can also be used for just about anything else. So the beauty of this light is, as you saw in the video, you can literally bend it any which way you want to, and it's still going to be fully functional. It's going to hold its shape no matter what you do with it. You can even bend it in a circle if you really want to. So if that's how you want to read your books or do your sewing, then by all means, go for it. The head also swivels up to 270 degrees, so I can try to blind you there. And there's also, again, I'm going to try to shine it towards the screen because I'm in light, so I want you to be able to see it. But it comes with 9 different settings, or combinations of settings. So what that means is you can set the temperature. So what am I at here? So that's your warm temperature setting. So this is a little bit more of your net like yellowish light that you're used to. So this is a lot easier on the eyes. But then, of course, if you want a natural daylight setting, you hit the temperature button again. This is going to mimic like being outside, what it's going to kind of look like. Then if you really want that really bright light to just zone in on whatever it is you're doing, it's also got a bright white setting as well. Along with these 3 different temperature settings, you've also got 3 different settings of brightness. So you've got low, medium, and high. So in addition to the flexibility of this lamp, it's just, instead of some lamps you can get that are really high lumens, and they'll say that, and this lamp does have really high lumens, but it also lasts the whole way as well. So some of them will lose their, be not quite as bright as soon as you get like 3 centimeters away.
How far does the light travel?
Yeah.
In this, it's called, there's a term for it, but it's how far does the light travel to what you're working on, to what you're sewing. And this goes all the way down to below here without any loss of light power. It's quite amazing. We actually have been selling this light to people that are audiophiles, for people that to see the dust on their records. Yeah. The with and without it's night and day. You can see exactly where the dust is on to clean it. So as Joe was saying, there's all kinds of applications for this light.
Yeah, almost every day we're having a customer call in with some new use that they're using for the light, which is fantastic. It's just so versatile. Anything that's task oriented where you're using your eyes for long periods of time and you really want to make sure that you're taking care of your eyes and just seeing what you're doing really. And you can get it, like if you're working on something on the table here, you can get it like right down in there.
And then go back.
And then move it back when you're ready. So these are 2 different models here.
So we just have a few questions, but I'll let you talk about the models first before I ask all those questions.
Sure, if in case I answer any of them already. So these are 2 different models. This one here is the 3100, and the reason they're different is because this one is a clamp base. So this clamp is 2 3/8 inches wide. I don't know if you can see the way.
Yeah, we made it open wider now. It'll clamp onto pretty much any table.
Yeah, so any table, any desk, pretty much anything. You could clamp it onto a heavy book or something if you wanted to. The other beautiful thing about them is they're all USB connectivity. So you've got we send it with a wall outlet that looks like this.
Yeah.
But then of course it's USB as well. So if you're going camping or something, and you don't actually have access to an outlet, but you have your laptop there, and you need a light to do whatever you're doing, you've got USB, so you can plug it right into your laptop or in your car or anywhere where you have USB, which is increasingly all over the place. So that's the 3100. The only difference between that and the 4100 is the 4100 has a heavy base. So if you don't have a table to clamp it onto, or if you don't, or just you'd rather have a base to sit in the middle of the table or anything like that, it's got the heavy base. This one is significantly heavier than the 3100 because it allows you to put it in any shape and it won't tip over. So I can have the light like this, if I was doing that for some reason, and it's going to stand sturdy. It's not going to fall.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay, so we're getting a ton of questions about these. People are really going crazy for them. So we have Sharon Aney over on Facebook wondering how tall the light gets.
That's where the night shade's coming in. See, I told you I came prepared this time. That works too.
So right now it's bent, but it's 2 feet, 24 inches.
Yeah, so the neck is 26.5 inches long.
26 and a half, okay. Yeah. So
Perfect.
as you can see, Joe has this bent. I'm at 26 inches.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's the length of the neck. So then the head again is probably an extra 5 inches or so.
Yeah, the head itself is
Or 7.5.
7.5 inches on the head.
Yeah. So we do have some other questions from some other folks. Diana was wondering, do they get hot like the light bulbs?
No, they're LED bulbs, so there's no heat at all. They also last, like if you get one of these lights, it's good for 60,000 hours.
So you can do the math on that. We tried to do that. We were like, okay, if you run this light 8 hours a day, blah, blah. We were like, we're getting it for 30 plus years.
Yeah. So I did the calculation. If you worked a 9-hour day and had it on every weekday, it would last you for 31 years, over 31 years.
Yeah. And I think that also answers Carol Lombard's question over on YouTube. She was wondering, when you say set the temperature, does that mean the light bulb itself gets hot? And no, that's referring to the warmth or coolness of the actual light, if that makes sense.
It's the color temperature.
Yeah. And then we've got some other questions. Carolyn Weinert is wondering, do y'all have a floor model of this lamp at the moment?
We don't yet. We just launched this in February.
Yeah.
Pretty recently.
Yeah, very new. So like every day we're finding out new uses for it. So we haven't quite got the floor model yet. We're going to start off with this. It's been an incredible reception so far. So.
And I'll tell you what, if y'all have, if any of you at home have the older models of the Uberlight, this one just blows those out of the water. It is really incredible. And then let's see, we have some other questions. Linda was wondering, what was the number of the USB light? They're both USB, I believe, right?
Both USB, yeah. One's the 100 TL, that's the clamp, and the other one's the 4100 TL, which is the base, the weighted base.
And then Steve over was wondering, what is the highest lumens?
600. So it's 200, 400, and 600 is the lumens.
Perfect. And then Ms. Wilson, I hope that answers your question on how long you should keep it on. We have some more questions. Carol Lombard wants to know, are there replacement bulbs available?
There are not, unfortunately. So, I mean, again, if they're rated for 60,000 hours, if it ever burns out, it's you gotta get another one.
Yeah, but I mean, hey, you were talking about how long they last, so hopefully you won't need to. I mean, these are going to last you a while.
Right, exactly.
And let's see. So we've got some other questions. Carolyn Weinert said she didn't see a cord on the one with a base. Is it battery operated?
No, it's because I unplugged it to bring it over to show you. The cord's right here.
Perfect.
Oops, over here.
Right there. And then Diana is also wondering, how much does the clamp model weigh?
Clamp model weighs.
I'm gonna guess. And I'm gonna say less than 2 pounds.
2.4.
2.4. Okay, all right.
Perfect.
And in case anyone's wondering, that's compared to 6.8 for the base clamp. So
yes.
Big difference.
And so we do have some overlays for these. Someone was asking how much these are. So let's take a look at the 3100 TL. Let's go ahead and pull that overlay up. That is $49.99 for the clamp. Again, it's USB. It includes an adapter. The C clamp is really adjustable to the thickness of your table, wherever you're clamping it down. And y'all saw how awesome these lamps are. I mean, I think that they're really, really awesome. They're incredible. This one is only $49.99, and we have it on our website on the little category page for this show. Now let's take a look at the 4100 TL as well. That one is $79.99. It comes with that table, that base. It's a little bit heavier than the other one, but just like Joe showed you, you can move it in any position you want and it will still stay put. It's not going anywhere. Really, really incredible set of lamps here. Both of them are really awesome. So if you're looking for a way to light your sewing space, or if you just want a reading light or something, I mean, there's really nothing that this lamp can't do. So I would highly recommend checking those out on our site. They're really incredible.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Liz.
Yes, thank you so much. So I think we've answered all the questions about the Uberlight. I don't think we had any other questions. And I think that just about does it for us today, right?
Yeah, that's everything we had here to talk about. So, I mean, if you see anything here that we showed you and you're looking for something that's slightly different, maybe a bigger professional boiler or maybe one of our other velocity irons, check out AllBrands. They've got all their stuff on their website.
Yes.
And Kalli's got some great specials running for you now. So definitely check them out. And again, thank you, Kalli, for letting us be on and inviting us to be part of the show. And thank you, everyone, for watching. And if there's any other questions that we missed, now's your time to ask them. Otherwise, I think we're good.
Absolutely. So we do have, I wanted to go ahead and let everybody know, show's not over quite yet. We are going to be giving away a $100 AllBrands gift card. So make sure you get those comments in, those likes and shares, everything. And Carolyn Weinert says, in the meantime, I'll let you guys get your comments and shares and everything in so you can enter into that giveaway. But Carolyn Weinert said, it's nice to learn about all your products. There's really nothing that Reliable doesn't do well. Like, y'all do everything and you do it all incredibly well. And I hope that all of these demos today were a testament to that for everybody watching at home. These are some really incredible deals that we've got running too.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Kalli.
So just to recap, let's go ahead and look at some of those little specials that we're running. So let's look at the Barracuda that we saw earlier in case you missed that. This is something we are running a coupon code on for the next 2 weeks. It's a really incredible semi-industrial sewing machine. So if you're looking for something that sews a bit more heavy duty, this is right up your alley. You can use code RELIABLE50 at checkout for $50 off of your purchase. That expires June 3rd. So let's also take a look at the Barracuda Craftsman kit. That comes with the Barracuda, the CUDA case, needles, extra bobbins, and that really, really awesome, and like I said, that really incredible CUDA case and the 120 TL task light. That is only $699.99 and use code RELIABLE50 at checkout for $50 off your purchase. That also expires June 3rd. And finally, or second to last, here we got the 230 IR iron, $149 plus free shipping, and we are throwing in a free iron rest with this iron too. So don't miss out on that. We'll be doing that for the next 2 weeks as well. And then finally, we have the Verve. Let's go ahead and see the Verve. We have code RELIABLE100 at checkout for $100 off of your purchase. And that also expires in 2 weeks. So really don't miss out on these deals. They are truly, truly incredible. So thank you all so much for tuning in and watching with us. And I think we can go ahead and pull that gift card winner's name. Let's see if Barbara can choose a random winner with our little random generator. Steve, oh my gosh. Well, Steve, you won. Congratulations. You just won a $100 AllBrands gift card. So thank you so much for watching and tuning in. That's so great. I'm so excited for you, Steve. Pick up some of those lamps or something while you're on our site. If you would, please go ahead and email events@allbrands.com and give us your name, your phone number, and your address, and we will get that out to you. So this has been a really, really incredible show, and I'm really excited that we had y'all on the show today. So thank you again, Joe and Keith, for being here with us today.
You're most welcome, Kalli, and thanks again. It was our pleasure.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Well, thank you all so much for watching at home. If you missed some of this, that's okay. You can go back and watch the playback once we go off the air, and they are up on our YouTube channel and our Facebook page indefinitely. Thank you all so very much for watching, and we will see you again next week. Bye, everyone.
Take care, everybody.